Catherine reflects on a gripping alcohol addiction that dates back to her childhood years.
There's a time when I was playing outside and I was very, very thirsty. So I just grabbed a bottle of water. I thought it was water. Kumbe, it was vodka. That was my first time to taste alcohol.
A trip to India was meant to open doors, but it came with more drinking.
I got my first blackout when I had gone for a party at around 20 years of age. Now, at that time, even at that moment, I thought that should have been the end of it all. How do you drink and then you can't remember?
The devastating loss of her brother made Catherine question her faith in God.
Of course, I was so hurt. I was so depressed. I took all the pictures in the house. I'll never forget. I took them and I told them there is no worship of any God in this house. We are not going to worship a God who does not love his people.
When Catherine reflects on how she was brought up, there was a solid foundation, both spiritually and financially.
I was brought up in a Catholic home, a very strong Catholic. My mother was a very staunch Catholic. I was brought up also with, I had 3 siblings, 2 brothers and 1 sister. Unfortunately, my 2 brothers passed on, so I'm with my sister right now. And it was a very good, my parents were very hardworking. They wanted a good home and they wanted the best for us. So along the way, we were taken to the best of schools. I was even taken to Loreto Convent Valley Road. My sister was taken to Loreto Msongari. At 12 years of age, I went to Uhuru Park. I had the lady preaching, Teresia Warimo was preaching. And all of a sudden, I just felt like I wanted to cry. I just started crying. And I wondered, God, what's wrong with me? Why am I crying? Kumbe, my conviction, even salvation, had started already.
The innocent act of wanting to quench her thirst became the beginning of her struggle with alcoholism.
There was a time when I was playing outside and I was very, very thirsty. Now, I didn't know where else to look for water. My parents used to have bottles of, Catholics are allowed to drink wine. So I just grabbed a bottle of water. I thought it was water. Kumbe, it was vodka. That was my first time to taste alcohol when I was around, I think, 13 years. Now, I hated the taste. In fact, I don't even understand how I could have even wanted to go that direction. But somehow, I don't know, it just happened.
As she grew older, Catherine got the opportunity to study in India, and while there, life threw her a curveball.
In fact, that alcoholism started there because I got my first blackout when I had gone for a party at around 20 years of age. Now, at that time, even at that moment, I thought that should have been the end of it all. How do you drink and then you can't remember? You can't remember what happened. So I didn't take it seriously. After some time, now that's when I got involved with this gentleman. And as we were going on, as we progressed, he started now, he was taking bangi, marijuana. And me, I was not interested in that. When I was with him, he started behaving violently. I had to run away. Where did I run to? I went to a place in the middle of India called Gwalior. And where did I run to? A group of believers. See how God assigns himself to places. I went to Gwalior. When I went, I just told some people here, I want to do admissions in India, in Gwalior, and I just want to settle down here. They didn't know I was running away. So one of them told me, have you given your life to Christ? Then I just said, no. Would you like to give your life to Christ so that maybe good things, excuse me, good things can happen to you. I said, yes, yes. You know, that time you're desperate, you want to do everything. I gave my life to Christ.
As she made her journey back home, it was clear that her life had been transformed, but only just.
Drinking stopped. There was no drinking after that. Coming home in the year 1998, I came and now I started going to church. But somehow, without going, you know, when I tried going for fellowship, but I couldn't get a job. I started getting depressed. I started wondering, why has God left me? What's happening? I went to church on and off. I was not sure. Then, unfortunately, at that moment, my parents opened a bar and restaurant. I do not blame my parents for opening. They didn't know anything else. They had no choice. They thought this was the best for their children. Somehow, I just lost it. I said, God, you've forsaken me. You have not given me a job, so let me see whether I can put my leg here in the world and put my leg in Christ and see which side is better.
It is during this phase of her life that Catherine got pregnant and gave birth to her daughter, Georgina.
She came and brought so much joy in my life. But my drinking started now again. It started picking up. There are days, I can tell you, I would drink. I didn't know what would catch me. Friday, especially Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those were the days that I would go and just disappear. Then I go to church on Sunday. I tried going to church on Sunday, but somehow if the hangover is there, then it would come. So I got into a depression. Here I am. I have brought a child into the world, and I really thought in my mind, my parents they were overjoyed with Georgina, but in my mind, I was thinking, I was not ready, and I welcomed this child with all my heart. But because of the pain now I went through, even with the father of the child, I was not happy. I wanted things to work my way. I started drinking. I would ask the waiter, just give me my Kingfisher. Those days there was Kingfisher. But I would come home very okay. A year goes like that. Second year, I would go again, go outside, drink, party, happen. Now, the third year, the blackouts, they just started immediately. I would drink and completely disappear. One day I found myself in Kiambu, and I didn't even know how I reached there.
As her drinking escapades continued, the reality of being a mother dawned on her.
It was 2003 when my daughter was 3 years old. I would cry so many times, and I would ask myself, what kind of a mother am I? I brought up, I don't know what to do. Then Monica, that is when now Monica came into the scene.
They received me well, and they were so loving and so kind. So I continued working, but within a very short time, that's when I realized Kate used to drink. How did I came to know? She disappeared. Now the hard work was, I'm taking care of the baby girl, 3 years old. I'm taking care of Kate. I'm taking care of their firstborn son, brother, who later died. But kwa hiyo hali ya kufanya hiyo kazi, this girl by the name Georgina, so because of vile I took her like my own child. The mother is there, but nowhere to be seen because of that drinking, that disappearing. So even I was telling Kate, I was reminding her the way the child used to call me mommy, because yeye hajui mama yake ni nani. So mimi ndiye alikuwa naona kama like the mother. She used to call me mom. Kate wakati amekunywa alafu anajisikia, when she's now sober, when she used to hear the child calling me the mother, she used to cry. This girl, she has cried a lot.
When Catherine lost her brother, it was devastating, and this led her to even more drinking.
At that moment, I had Timothy. He got sick. My brother started now coughing, and he was coughing blood. So we were so worried because I always thought that he was coughing, and I kept on asking, "Why are you coughing, Tim? Why are you coughing? Why don't you go for a checkup?" He went for a checkup. He never told. He concealed everything. At the end of the day, when he was in hospital, he told me that he never went for a checkup because he thought he had AIDS. And since it's a stigma, and now it's not longer a stigma, I wish we could go back to time when things could be the way we were. But God has His plans for everything. At that moment, he got very sick. He asked me, "Is there anything you can tell me?" Imagine, he still saw God in me. Even with all that stupering, he just said, "Can you tell me how we can pray?" Well, with Monica at that moment. And I led him to the sinner's prayer. But I remember going into a closet and I started interceding, praying and praying and praying. So at that moment, God said, "No, I'm taking my son home." That thing took a toll on me. I took all the pictures in the house. I'll never forget. I took them and I told them, there is no worship of any God in this house. We are not going to worship a God who does not love His people. I took them and I said, there'll be no praying in this house. Imagine me telling people no praying. Of course, I was so hurt. I was so depressed. And that is when now the drinking became worse and worse and worse.
As Monica reflects, there was a day when Catherine was drunk and was unavailable. They couldn't find her anywhere.
She went into a toilet. She helped herself the way she did it, but she was unable to clean herself. And the mother was called. And she was told, there is a lady who entered in one of the washrooms, and she has not yet come out. Now, that time we were looking for her all over. Hakuna mahali tunampata. When the mother entered and found the daughter, she cried. She took some people there, and they took Kate and took her in the car. And then the mother called me because I was here. And the mother told me, "Monica, put water on the fire." I didn't know what was the work of that water. I put the water. Na akaniambia, put much water on the fire. That's what I did. That day she had a very nice dress, Kate. So the mother arrived and she called me there outside. When I went, she told me, come and help, assist me so that we can take her inside the house. Sahiyo, we are holding her like sorry to say, agonia ya cabbage or viazi. So we took her inside. What we did, we took a makazi, scissors, pair of scissors. We cut the dress, and then the mother told me, "Now leave me to do the work." So nikaweka maji, nikapeleka kwa bathroom, and the mother washed her.
As all this was unraveling, the burden was weighing heavily on Monica, and she started questioning God.
I was very new in salvation, so I used to pray. And I remember one time I prayed and I told God, "God, is this the work I prayed for? Is this the job surely? No way. I cannot continue like this. I am born again, and you have brought me in this place where two people are drinking, and I'm the one who is taking care of them. I'm the one who is washing the clothes and doing everything. No, Lord, I can't continue." But God is so faithful. That is when God spoke to me. I didn't know, even you hear that I was very new in salvation. I didn't know how God speaks to His people. But when I was praying on my knees, God told me to open a certain page in my Bible, and I opened. Now, the scripture God gave me is the one about the thorn that was with Paul. Later on, that is when I came to realize why God gave me that verse. So mi nikaambiwa, you are going nowhere, you are to stay.
We are living in a lost and broken world, constantly bombarded by messages of hate and atrocities. But with God, we can overcome. Find hope and restoration on the go through life-changing shows on the Family Media app.
And then you will lose yourself and gain the world. And Jesus said, what good is it?
Get to stream Family TV and Family Radio 316 straight from your phone. Catch up on a show you missed or create video streaming playlists by saving and watching videos from our huge variety of shows at your own convenience. Download the Family Media app, available for all Android and iOS users on the Google Play Store and Apple Store respectively. Family Media, keeping Jesus on the airwaves. With the loss of her second brother, Catherine found herself depressed, devastated, and with no hope in sight.
He died because he thought he blamed himself for giving my other brother sickness, here, TB, but he passed on. Now my drinking started getting worse and worse because I really thought there was no God. Every time I would come out from a drinking spree, I would always want to kill myself. I would always want to find a way to just disappear. I would even tell my family, hey, I want to join my brothers because I think it's better. That life is better. Free from pain, free from trauma. My sister is there in Europe crying. My parents are crying. Monica is crying. But Monica and Mom never give up hope on me. I would come back home, look at my daughter and cry because I would wonder what kind of mother would survive with such a child.
We used to fold her with ropes, mikono, even something that nyororo ile inafungaga dogs. Yes, we used to tie her with those things. And I remember that time when she broke the window. I can't believe that day tulikuwa tumefunga na hiyo nyororo. And I don't know how she broke it and then disappeared through the window. Now the mother could come and ask me, Monica, I told you not to open the doors. I told you, I used to stay with the keys. Then she's there inside. Anapiga makelele, akipiga makelele, alafu analala.
Catherine reflects on being returned home and having a sobering conversation with her dad.
He cried and he said, your brothers have gone. You are also dying. You want to leave us. Who will we be left with? That thing touched me so much, I cried. And Monica was there the following day. I talked to her and I told her, Monica, I'm tired. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of all this. I went on my knees and I gave my life to Christ now properly now, March 15th, 2007. I'll never forget. That's my birthday, second birthday. And I can tell you sincerely, now it was not escaping from a man. Now it was now to escape from this demon called alcohol. And it was not really escape. I had gotten tired. I got fed up. So Monica led me to Christ.
Tunaomba tu na yeye vile tu wako. Mungu anamtumia tu. Kate could pray and pray and pray. Even that time when she's drinking evil, she could pray, maombi unasikia, and touch the heaven. So we prayed. I told her we are going to, not just a prayer, but we are going to fast and pray. And that is exactly what we did. We prayed. We prayed for 21 days.
I started feeling the Spirit of God filling me up. I went to House of Grace, gave my testimony, and everybody got so encouraged. And I I had never looked back. I've always wanted God from that time. So this urge, in fact, after that, the testimony I want to give, after I gave my life to Christ, 2 weeks after 10 years of tarmacking, I got a job in Barclays Bank. So 10 years, my brethren, wait upon God. Be patient with God, because everything happens at His time. We have no power. We are powerless.
It felt like a turning point for Catherine, but a lot was still unresolved. Within no time, she relapsed.
I would go like 3 months, it starts again. No, thank God. That's why I'm saying salvation didn't work. I would love God. I would go for fellowship, but then now I got too busy. Busy. When you're too busy and you don't obey the line that you're supposed to follow, reading the Word of God, praying, fellowshipping, doing those recovery programs. I had no recovery program. I had 3 accidents, and my people at work never knew, and they never even thought that I was sick. It was hidden for almost 16, 15 years. That I was a functional alcoholic, somebody who can function but now can work. Those people who drink in the closet and then they can still work. But me, I could not. I was never drinking at work, but I would drink. I would have a time when I just go on a spree. 3 days. Something just holds me and I just go crazy. How God kept me in that job, only He knows. So my father and my mother, they would protect me. They would call and say, she's not well, she's going to come. Don't worry. She's not well, until my mom broke down to one of my colleagues. And he said, Catherine needs help. I don't know whether you can. Then he said blatantly, Catherine is not an alcoholic. She just doesn't know how to cope with stress. But he didn't know my story. They didn't want to believe that I could be sick. And God had a plan already. So I told him, I need help. He introduced me to some of the programs, but he was still not convinced.
An incident at work would later bring things to the forefront for Catherine, and it was clear to her employer that she needed help.
I went to work at where I work, as I deal with customers. So I went to work and I had gone to drink. I had taken a sip. Now it was after my mom passed on. And now the traumas. I still have not dealt with my traumas. I've not gone for counseling. I've not done my therapy. Nothing. I'm still dealing. The traumas, the pain, my brothers have gone. I am alone. Taking my parents, taking care of my parents, taking care of my child. All that was a lot to handle. And I didn't go to do anything about it. I went to the bottle. So God decided, today is the day you're going to have to say it's over. I went there, I talked to a customer. I remember I was told, I shouted at that customer. I did wonders in that place. The following day I was called and told, can you please go home? You are going to go for counseling. We are taking you. Well, they wrote a letter and said, go straight to the counseling department. So I went there. I went and my cousin came and she told me, Kate, that's the end. Do you know if you continue this way, you lose your job? All the blessings God has given you, you're going to lose them all, one by one. Somehow, I went to her house. I stayed there a month. I stayed with her for a month. And I stayed and she kept on telling me, God, she kept on encouraging me. She told me, God is with you.
This became Catherine's moment of complete deliverance. She agreed to go through a recovery program.
Whether you are saved or not saved, you belong to a program. You need a support group because our minds cannot cope with stress. People like others who go through it, they can cope with it. But now our minds, the alcoholic brain cannot cope with stress. So they need alternative. You are born again, yes, but you need a program. You need a program. And there are many in this program who are saved and they're in this program. Yes, and finally I got it. And now I'm working in Namanga. We have opened an office. My boss has even helped me open that office. How the enemy has wanted to destroy my life now he's ashamed. The office is just next door. And he's very proud of telling people, if anybody needs help, ask Kate to help you with the alcoholism, addictions, or counseling. So God opened a door for me. I have been helping a lot of people in my community there. We gathered some other 50 people, even the pastors. I want to introduce this recovery program to them. And I'm waiting for them now to tell me. But me, normally I go to their churches. I go to churches to testify, tell them about the goodness of God. They can't believe it. Some say, no, you cannot. You look this nice. You couldn't have gone through what I've gone through. But they'll wait. This is my life. I can't make up a story. So that is what I do. It's a 12-step program. Me, when I did step 4, I heard that voice and it said, you are free. You go and tell the world what I have done for you. You are totally free. No longer will you fall in terrors. No longer will you go for relapses. No longer will you go through that. I cried. I'll never forget. I cried that day. And God is true to his word. I have never, even after that, that was when I sat with my cousin for 1 month. I did the program. God wanted me to do that program. That's when I got my deliverance, complete deliverance.
Catherine's mom had passed on at this time. And to this day, even as she remembers her, she is working on regaining the trust of her present family.
My daughter was also she was very wounded. She saw me falling down, all those situations, terrible situations she should never have seen. Trauma has been there, but because of her, she also goes for therapy. I encouraged them also to go for this therapy for those ones with addicts. I encouraged them, but it's work in progress, and it will take God for them now to continue trusting. But I've seen the hand of God in my father. I've seen the hand of God in my family, and I cannot say all have accepted. I'll be lying. It's just work in progress. Not all have believed. 1 or 2 will just look at me and say, hey. But now, you see, now it is up to them. But most of them, I really wish my mom was alive. She would be so happy. But it was not God's plan. They have accepted that. They are trusting. My daughter especially now has full trust that if she doesn't pick my call, if my phone is mteja, because that was the main thing, mteja, for 3 days. If my phone is mteja like for 1 day or 2, she doesn't have that. At least I can see the trust has come back.
Monica has since moved on with her life, but as she reflects, it has been quite the journey, and she is glad that she has remained steadfast.
When God sees there is a seed, because I think God saw a seed in Kate, and he knew one day he will use that seed in his kingdom. And who was there to intercede for Kate? Monica. And so it gave me courage, and then I felt that now it is time now to continue. So when I see Georgina, I see a miracle. I see a miracle, because the mother was nowhere to be seen to take care of the child, and God brought me here, somebody who was not to take advantage of seeing the situation how it was and mistreat the child. Hiyo tu ndio inanifanyaga nisikie mzuri. And then the restoration of my sister Kate, because of those words she used to say that it is better for her to die and follow the brothers, because she has wasted all the years doing nothing here on earth. But I used to encourage her. I used to pray for her. I used to tell her that God has a purpose. God has a reason for you to live. And one day you will confess that Jesus Christ truly is your Lord.
Catherine's testimony is one that shows us that even though she lost her way in addiction, she found her purpose in Christ.
I'm just grateful to God, really. I think I'm just so grateful that I can see a day, I can enjoy, I can climb a mountain. I don't have to have people following me. chasing me after 3 days. I used to look at the police and I would be scared, but today I look at the police and I think they're angels sent by God to help us. My whole perspective has changed. So God is a restorer. God is a miracle working God and a very, very loving Father. He doesn't care what you've done, doesn't care what you do. All he wants is just for a relationship. He's interested in only one thing, a relationship with him. And that's what he's been wanting from the time he created man, so that he can give you the blessings that he has for you. So I'm so grateful.
Today, Catherine remains diligent at her workplace and continues to share her testimony to help others struggling with addiction as well.
I believe that salvation can help, and that Jesus is the answer, really. At the end of the day, he will transform your life. And there is hope for tomorrow. Like I had no job for 10 years. Look at me now, I got a job. And God has replaced all that I have lost. In those 10 years, he has replaced it even further than what I have even was supposed to get. So I would tell them, take heart, be patient, wait for God, he will come. But align yourself as you are waiting, wait for him in the right place. Be in church, get active in the things of God. Be busy working, doing small jobs, errands. Don't be idle. There's so much work you can do. Even community help. You just go to places, ask them to volunteer. You can do voluntary work. Because now the enemy comes when you're idle. He gives you evil thoughts. He gives you, do this, go drink, that is better for you. That is a lie. Because he's the father of lies. He knows nothing. Because at the end of the day, he laughs at you and starts laughing and saying, why did you drink? Why did you listen to me? Now look at you, you're an addict. Shauri yako. So I think there is no need to go to those vices. Just seek help in church. People are always there to help you. God uses people to help others, yeah.